Welcome back. Dirty 20 Live, thanks for the raid. Hope you guys had a good stream. And Bridget, thanks for the community sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. We return back to the party after Karan makes contact with Rowan's mother, accessing her through a fond memory that Rowan gave Karan insight into. After some processing and hesitation of this strange form of communication through sending, the soft voice of Rowan's mother, Ella, replies to Karan. It is so good to hear from you. I cannot wait to meet you and the rest. We have other guests at the moment, but of course we will accommodate all of you as best we can. And Karan would relay that to the rest of the party.
Other guests. Oh. Yeah, my dad did hurt himself, so he probably has Thodrak helping him at the house, and Evelyn's probably there too, so. I haven't been home in 2.5 years. Be lying if I said I wasn't excited. Let's go tell the others. And walk back to Bree's hut. She got the message and she knows we're on our way. Ron's just gonna sit down in his little corner-ish spot.
So, I have Ace's bag. If you'd like to see if there's anything.
Yeah, if you don't mind, please. And Rowan's gonna extend his hand out for the back end. I did want to see if he had that letter and his seeds, seeds. And Rowan's just gonna start shuffling through his pockets.
Going through the bag, something else catches your eye. Similar to the tokens that the rest of the party has, there's another token that, in the same fashion with the leather band, a coin with a decorative 5 on one side, and on the other side you immediately recognize, identical to yours, Rowan. The two figures with their arms wrapped around each other and the flames behind them, walking away from the flames.
Rowan's gonna flip it up and catch it. He's gonna just hold it a little tight. Brothers to the end. I'm going to put it in my... unless anybody else would like to hold it. And he's going to put it in his pack. And do I find that letter? He never sent it when we were in Lowell. The one that he originally gave Rowan when he jumped down. Is that letter in that backpack?
When he jumped down from, what do you mean?
The roof. He gave Rowan a letter to send it to his family in Zayath
It's still
That
in his
letter was
backpack.
already sent with the king. The king took care of that.
Oh,
That
that's
was the
right.
stuff that the king was taking care of.
All
with,
right, is the seeds too? Or the seeds, but I would
Yeah,
imagine they're
yeah.
probably stone. I'll take.
You notice that some of them are missing, that he's been, planting them here and there, just randomly throughout your guys' adventures, just planting them kind of throughout as went.
I'm gonna take that. And is there anything else in the backpack? I know it's pretty bare.
Seth, is there? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'm unprepared. I don't know exactly everything that was in his bag
All right.
that I can think of.
Okay. Rowan's just gonna set it to the side, and he's gonna pat it.
Seth, they're asking if there was anything else in the bag that would be of note that he might
Might
have
be
had.
in your note spot, not in the D&D Beyond.
We got the flower seeds and the coin, but
Nope. He said you got it all. Hi,
and
Seth and
he's
chat.
gonna
We miss you as a player.
he's going to pat it and keep his hand there for a minute.
So,
Then just no, go ahead. He's just getting nestled down.
before you all go to sleep, and me and Kieran keep watch over you, grab your cups. There's a little bit of jungle rum left, and I would like to say something.
Sure. Rowan's gonna grab his cup.
And she's gonna pour some of the funny jungle juice out for everybody. And because you don't know Ace, I'm just gonna say it like she's telling a story. Got it. We have had the honor of watching history unfold and fairy tales come to life and legends be made. Chief amongst them, there once was a man, and his beginnings were simple. He lived his life like most of you, I'm sure, working hard to do his best and to better himself, even when the deck was stacked against him. And to be fair, he struggled, chiefly with anger, but he found a way to grow and overcome his circumstances. This man had the most magical gift I have ever seen. He had a way to make the loneliest people his family. This man stayed by my side as I dealt with loss. I watched as he fell from the sky to shield a woman on her dying breaths, as the killer stood over her, about to finish the job. However, the grandest act of love I've ever seen him do was this one time. I watched him fight this snake. It was like so big, it wrapped around an entire island, and it was destined to grow into a world eater. And, well, it was destined to until it met Ace. So, to our brother, this is for him.
And to the man that died once before because of me and had all the reason in the world to hate me, but chose not to, and was the first to forgive me.
You're dumb. He's gonna rest the cup on his chest and just baby sip it. can't handle his alcohol well. He knows what that can do.
Not the jungle rum.
Oh. You might like that, Aurelia. If you like the harder stuff, it'll creep up on you. Be careful.
It's dangerously
It'll knock
sweet.
you on your ass.
it's so much so that you don't realize how strong it is.
So, why don't you all go to sleep? Charon and I have got it from here. You rest up, and tomorrow we are on our way.
Are you sure you guys are good?
I've
with the
got.
shifts?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we do. We don't need as much sleep as you-hoos.
Alright. I'm gonna pull out my fur cloak. Throw it over myself as a blanket.
Did Rowan end up giving Asher the seeds?
No, he has it in his
Okay.
back, his chest pocket, what you want to call it, for right now.
Before you go to sleep, Asher is going to ask you for like one or two of them. And
Oh yeah.
and
Rowan's just gonna hand you the whole pouch. And I figured wherever we decide to build a memorial or for him, we put those next to it.
that was my thoughts as well. But for tonight, I do want to plant one outside, and you'll see in
They're
the
all
morning.
yours.
And
They're
then
all
as
yours.
everyone else goes to bed, Asher's going to leave the dome, and he's going to find a nice quiet spot and plant a seed and druid craft it to start growing. And he's just going to sit there and meditate for a little bit before bed. And
You see the beginning of the blooms of the white flower with the white rose-esque flower with the red kind of trim outline. In your meditation, it's hard, it's disjointed, distracted. There's a loudness in the silence and the quiet of the night. Some peace there as well, being away from the city and feeling some sense of safety. But the distance to your deity feels chasmic.
he's just going to sit there and kind of breathe, and then eventually go off and go lay down and try to fall asleep.
Once Briar sees you all asleep, she'll reach out into her bag and she'll pull out the Book of Ace, and she's just going to start sketching his face until her shift is over. Then she'll wake up Charon, and then she'll just sketch until she falls asleep with like tears splattering onto the paper, and that's basically how you're going to find her when you wake up.
The night is quiet as it passes both shifts, and the morning begins to come for the party. The birds outside the dome with their effortless songs, unknowing of the tragedies befalling the realms of men.
Wake up. Look, do I see Bree and her sleeping with the book open? I'm gonna go over and just close the book gently and put it on her lap and just gently wake her up. All right. I don't know if you want to close this down yet. I don't know how this works. Sorry.
No, I'm really glad the final two didn't go down to the final one. I'm glad you're okay. I'm really glad we got there in time.
Me too.
Me three.
You see, sitting in the corner of the dome, just Indian style, just cross-legged, just the Green Trix Raven.
Did you come to play catch today? Do I need to summon some meteors and throw them at your ass? Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry about your loss. Tragic.
Unfortunately, we really don't have the time this morning. And Rowan is going to start packing up his stuff, and he's going to tap Asher and gently shake Aurelia awake.
You know what you told us. Don't give you the chalice. Now go fuck off.
Well, now that you have it in your possession, I would like for you to destroy it. My initial inquiry was for you to not find the chalice and not give it to me. Now that you have it, I do not want it. I want you to destroy it.
How?
I don't know, smelt it down. Find a way. You're resourceful, aren't you?
No, not particularly.
Well, once we get to a place where we can figure out how to smelt it, there'll be a discussion on the table.
I mean, you can even try your father's forge. That might work. Well, your father's friend's forge, right?
Yes. And Rowan's just going to point a finger at him. He's going to do this. Don't you ever come near my family, you understand?
Oh, you have nothing to fear. What would I do? I mean, only if I were upset. And if you were to give the chalice to me. But, you know.
He's just going to go back to packing.
Hello, you're a new face.
If you could
My name is
kindly-
Raven. He
Scurries on over to you.
if you could kindly
Puts
fuck
his-
off, Raven.
Rowan's going to put his hand in between Trixie and Trixie's and Aurelia. No.
You will not have her name.
I didn't ask. I was simply giving mine. Mine is Raven. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Is
And then
he-
I look at the party members, very confused.
How rude. Would you mind explaining to her the situation?
Oh, on your time. Okay, so that's how this is going to work?
Well, if you would like, I could hinder your journey some more, and then you would have all the time in the world, wouldn't you?
That might actually be a little cathartic if you want to hinder us a bit. So basically what had happened was our dear brother Ace made a deal. And now we are stuck with 3 faces of one. all the Raven. We have the Muyer Raven, Trixie over here, and then there's like Plague Guy. He started the bullshit at Lakegrass. So, question:
Terrible
if you're
thing
Raven,
I did, isn't it?
does that make other Raven Raven and then third Raven Raven? Like, what is your true name? So I don't have to call you like
I am Raven.
Raven number 2. You are like the second Raven, though.
We are all Raven.
Okay, Raven number 2. So that's the gist of it. So we were tasked to get a shiny chalice. Raven 1 wants us to give the chalice. Raven 2 now wants us to destroy it, and Raven 3 wants it destroyed as well.
Who were you, Raven?
What do you mean?
We know that at one point you were all one being. Who were we?
Oh, yes. Before I was Raven, Raven, and Raven, I was Raven.
So, what? You're a deity, right? You're some sort of.
Stop it, you.
Who worshipped you? Like what people?
Worship is quite a strong word. There were many who were loyal to the ways of Raven. There are lots of benefits for obeying such powerful entities.
People that were following the ways of the Raven.
There were all sorts of kinds. Some of them would be classified as druidic. Some would be classified as, by your barbaric terms, warlock. There are even, for more simplistic terms, those who operated clerically through the Raven.
So you were an archfey of some kind.
Oh, you humanoids and your classifications. I am Raven. I just am what I am.
And why did you fight this deity that split you into 3? Why did you help in prison?
Well, some tricksy wixies are just too nefarious. I am all for free will. That devilish entity was not. He sought to enslave your kind.
The Muyer or the Plague one?
No, though. We, if that makes sense to you,
Oh, yes.
tried to stop this entity.
So if
We
you
were
and
unsuccessful, but I think we helped with those Narrabeen folk. Strong they were back then.
if you 3 were trying to brawl for freedom, then why are you putting us in a position where we have no free will with what we do with this chalice?
Oh, I have given you many choices. Each one is a choice. But every choice has consequences, you see.
If you were more powerful together, why do you want to stay separate? Seemed like you were.
Well, I mean, more powerful is... Power isn't everything. I'm a firm believer in free will, and having to constantly nag with myself internally is just a burden. I just want to do my little tricksy wixies.
Is there something with this? What did they call it? The sun elf metal? The sun metal? What's so special about it? Why do you want it? Why that metal?
It was the shiniest chalice. I don't want it. Destroy it.
Okay.
It can be anything else. It can remain sun metal. I don't care. Just destroy it. I don't want it to be in a cup form at all.
Why?
Because you could drink from it. Oh.
What does it do?
Looks like this. Should I drink from it?
Yes, go ahead. It's just a cup.
It's just a cup.
Yes, it depends on what you put in that cup and the incantations you place over it all. Trixie Wixie like.
So what you're saying is that specific cup is a component of some sort, and
Yes.
you would like that
But-
component.
Wee little spell. I don't want that component. Destroy it!
What spell? Like if I bled in the cup, what would happen? What would I need to pair with?
You would have a bloody cup.
Okay. What spell?
You creatures and your names, I tell you. I don't know the name for the spell. It's just a spell that brings me back together, and I don't want that.
We'll talk it over on our journey.
We'll talk it over. We'll talk it over. We'll discuss it. Just destroy it. You've been playing with fire a lot lately. Place it in the middle of the forest. Scoot, 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 scoot. Back. Fireball. That might melt it. I don't know. Destroy it.
Well, it was really nice talking to you. Have a super great day. Are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, I'm going
Let's get
to
outta here.
drop my brambles. Okay. Bye, Trixie. We'll talk to you soon.
Think it over. Okay, bye.
Screws away.
I'm sorry. I was done with him.
I was about to call the mother out and see if they really do argue with each other.
I would really like to see them all in one room with one another.
Going to sling Dom's empty backpack over my shoulder. Just to have a backpack, because Rowan doesn't have his backpack anymore because he emptied it into the bag of holding, essentially. And he's gonna make his way down the tree. Sorry about that.
I was like, huh, what?
Yeah. Yeah, Rowan's gonna say that to Aurelia. Still trying very careful not to say her name in the event he's around and just kind of listening.
We got ourselves in a little bit of a bind, but we did learn some things. Look back over at Quran, and
It seems like chaos.
it
He's
is.
one.
It seems like whatever deity was split into three forms, and they don't. One of them wants to bring them together to balance them out. The other two would like to remain separate. And just like any force of nature, if it's us out of balance, havoc can be wrought.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oops, he's still up on screen.
Honestly, we might be able to ask my mom. She might have been around when everything happened. Or heard a word. Before we make our final decision.
We might be able to find remnants of the druidic circle that followed the deity.
We could try to put them together. Ask for something. Highest bidder gets what they want.
I think we need to bring them together. Their war is going to decimate whatever. We cannot have powerful beings battling each other on our realm.
I'd much rather not burn it in a forest.
Oh, I did not plan on the fire in the forest. My Mugier would kill me. And we already had to talk about fire safety. Like, I get it. Only I can prevent forest fires. It's fine.
Yes, Rowan's gonna sling his backpack over the saddle and pull out his cloak. We should probably consider getting you guys some warmer clothing. Rowan's going to gesture to Asher and Karan and Bree.
I can make some stuff as we get closer. But for
Karan
now-
is a good clothier. So, I mean, if we go trap and kill things, he can use the first to make things so we're warm.
Aurelia, will you need anything?
As we go farther north, maybe, but I'm pretty good with the cold. I always have been. It'd have to get really cold for me to be cold.
Kind of accustomed to it too. I probably
now-
can't handle your cold point though.
I don't want to seem forward. I gathered that you all are going north, and can I go with you that way?
We assume
Oh, I
that
thought you were coming with us.
you just.
Of course.
And Asher's gonna. I'm assuming we're getting on our horses while we're talking, so he's gonna cast Pass Without a Trace to start the journey, and so that we can not be tracked.
You know how much you did and how much you put on the line. You think we're going to let you go anywhere on your own? I don't think so. You're stuck with us.
Kinda owe you one, Aurelia.
Out of all the people in that visited myself and Rowan, they all talked about believing us and knowing that we did nothing wrong. You were the only person in that kingdom that not only did something about it, but left everything you owned, everything that you knew, because you believed in something.
Like I told Bree and Karan, there's something about all of you, and it kind of overcame me. And I know that you're not fond of the Temple of Light, but from them I did gain a belief in doing what is right.
You know something? Not everybody from the Temple of Light is so bad. Like Kalandra. She's a shining beacon in your...
And to be
Great.
fair, Jothrin has kind of grown on me. Last time I met, I avoided him like the plague and turned into a spider so he wouldn't find me.
That's delightful.
We thought he was out on a witch hunt.
As we go, I would love to hear more stories about Dominicus. If
Well, the
you-
first time Dominicus died was my fault. Yeah. And the one that she was just talking about, Calandra. Apparently she
brought him back. So that was interesting. So that worked out. It
time I-
seems so strange, though. Your friend, the seer one.
You know,
If she was orchestrating this, then what's the point of bringing him back the first time?
She did say that there's somebody else working against her.
maybe Dom played a part, did something somewhere along the lines that created a ripple, made
There's
an
definitely
impact.
some ripples. This stagnant pond is now a roaring tidal wave. So there's that.
As we're trotting along, Rowan's going to be leading the way, as he's familiar with the road specifically, and he's going to be turning his shoulder and talking about first time he met Dom. You know, we were all on a ship. I had no idea how I got there. And this guy comes rattling down, knocked out. He hooked him on a wall. And as we were all trying to escape, he broke through his chains with his own bare strength. I didn't want to get on his bad side.
And we were on an island once, and we were separated from everybody. And he, you know, the snake I talked about last night, where he like bit off its head and basically ate it. So, there were these little monster creatures, and there were darts flying all over around. And we did our best to stand against them. We woke up. Turns out his home village. And my uncle, Asher's father-in-law, is how we learned we were related. I got to see him reunited with his family, and it was beautiful. They are beautiful. That was one of the happiest moments I have ever seen Dom. He was so alive. And always so caring. And she's just gonna fall back and take the back of the pack, and because she's just gonna tune out and try to collect herself.
He was everybody's biggest fan. One of our last nights in Kingshaven, we went to a ring, and he fought. What was it? It's a big old orc guy, wasn't it? Who am I thinking? Is it
It's an ogre. Yeah.
an ogre? Yeah, he fought an ogre in the
Blobhead was his
yeah,
name.
and he won. And then I took the ring, and him, as beat up as he was, he still came running to hold me up. I was barely even awake. That's how I met Portis. Is kind of got into a match fight. Strong guy. Rowan's just gonna
Orvis.
turn.
Orvis can be like that. He often meets people like that.
Singled me out, that's for sure. Got me down to my last limb. Horse is gonna be trotting along super happily. Just got that little dance thing going on because I'm bouncing him back and forth, talking to Aurelia.
I really don't know if Tom ever understood. Shit, I don't even understand. When we cut that bandit's arm off, trying to hide the evidence. Tom tried to feed my wild shape the severed arm. I don't think I've ever been more taken back in my life, but it was...
That's still cannibalism, Dom. All right. Let's pick up the pace for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Rowan's gonna just heels down on the horse, the stirrups, and just go.
And Asher's going to keep paths without a trace on as long as possible. Basically, whenever we hit crossroads or anything of that nature, he'll pop a spell slot and make sure that we're not leaving any tracks.
Yep. Just a few hours into your journey heading north, away from Kingshaven, away from the King's Boarslands, you now come across a bridge that crosses over onto the other side where the road continues up north along the riverside, on the eastern side of the river towards Branbridge. You see the banks on the western side of the river kind of unpopulated with people, more so just the kind of embankment with trees of different kinds. The summer beginning to show the first signs of fall here in the central Esmond. As you head up north, that cold chill of autumn will grow increasingly more apparent. But for now, a comfortable summer day. Beautiful day despite the road-weary, beaten party.
Before we get to, as we are heading on that main path, as I look, we're gonna stay away from the cities. So, Rowan's gonna, once we get into the main road, he's going to lead the party to the left. So we're gonna go up the road about a couple hours, northwestish, to just take that back road behind Branbridge, as if we're heading straight to Sea Rock, creating that little long stretch.
So from the east side of the river, you're gonna, so anybody that's interested, if you want to see the map that we're looking at, ! Discord, go scroll down to, I believe it's maps in Delvius Lorum's little compendium. You'll see the map with the hex that gives you the approximate time of travel. They're in between Kinghaven and Branbridge right now.
Yeah, we'll cross
so
the
on
bridge
east, yeah.
over the river. Yep, we're going to cross the bridge
So the
over
bridge
the river
itself
and through the woods.
Is not the bridge itself is not Branbridge itself, but it's not the main village of Branbridge. It's a small village, but because it is central around that bridge, there are establishments that are central, located around that bridge, but it's not the main like city district. But there are definitely inns and taverns set up there and other just simple businesses, kind of feeding on that travel in between Kinghaven and Sea Rock and others. It's a rougher road with the Gold Mount kind of small mountain range that makes the terrain a little bit harder. So the most common route from Siroc or Trevane is through Den Lake. That's why Den Lake is a little bit more of a bigger town than Brandbridge itself. Brandbridge is kind of an alternate route, but for those without carts, because of the kind of the terrain, it's fine for horses or just foot traffic, but typically with cart and commerce, they're going to go through Den Lake to kind of split Siroc and Trevane and Kinghaven.
Before we get in, I didn't see that small little town or where there would be. I would note to the party, if you got a cloak, put them on. We'll just go through as if we're travelers.
How many hours into the day would this be?
So before you get to Brandbridge, that would have been, you're not quite up to Brandbridge yet. So this would have been, you would have made it to probably just before that hex before the bridge. Because that would have been 1 day of travel with your horses. So nighttime is approaching before you make it to Brandbridge. If you would like to go through during the night, you may, and then rest afterwards. Or you can rest before you get to Brandbridge. Your call.
I thought we were going to make it a little bit further with the horses.
So from Kinghaven, if you count up 2 hexes, you'd be at the very edge of that last hex of those 2 hexes.
I thought we traveled a little bit further. Once we left Kingshaven, we traveled as far as we can, which would be that middle hexagon between Brandbridge and Kingshaven. I thought that's
about where you
we
would
were
be
at
now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that honestly, that I'm okay with. Yeah, maybe we could rest here.
You want to rest?
Let's catch our breath. Here. You want to find a good spot? Get off the road, of course, and kind of hide in the trees.
Roll a survival check. Somebody.
I will help, or I can roll it.
Do you wanna do it, Druid? Do you wanna help Briar today?
Druid.
Yeah.
Wood guy, please.
Could use some help today.
Do you want me to just do it with advantage, or?
Yes, Karan died. No, I'm just kidding.
Advantage, yeah.
Blind is just not with us today. He's being autopiloted by myself.
That's a 16 plus 8, so 24.
You find an excellent place. Jesus. Okay. You find an excellent place shrouded out into the woods a few ways, a good ways off the already kind of less traveled road that goes along the river itself. You see just in the river, just this little torchlight that goes slowly drifts up the river, which you can assume to be some kind of ferry or some sort that has made its way from Kingshaven to Brandbridge. The first that you've seen, not the most common means of transport, but this little roadside, road less traveled. You feel pretty confident in your location.
I do have something prepared once we make your dome.
Oh, well, are we going to sleep right away? Is there anything anyone wants to do before I am stuck inside of my dome?
Well, this will last 24 hours or until I tell it to stop. And he's going to, once we find a nice area where we can set up camp, he's going to cast hallucinatory terrain and just basically make it look like we're in thick foliage and just can't be seen from the road. This should keep anyone who's not explicitly looking for us out.
Okay. Before I can't do magic because, the hut, I'm going to reach out to Daph, so
Okay.
Hope Muyer found you. Ace is dead. We're on the lam, headed to Herondine. I may have a new spy for you.
My dear prickly thorn. I'm so sorry to hear about your friend. I am doing well. I miss you, my dear. Be safe in your travels. New friends. Okay.
Then another message to Muyer. Muyer? Ace is dead. We are on the lam headed north to Herondine. I hope you find Dad. I'm okay. I could really use a hug.
I am so sorry, my dear. I have heard that news. I probably won't be finding your father anytime soon. I'm assigned elsewhere. You know, as soon as we are reunited, I will give you the biggest one of your life.
Okay. I'll set up the hut now.
And Asher's just going to reach out to Coria and say, since she was stopping in a town, Coria, we are stopping for the night. Did you make it safe?
Let's see. We have just settled in ourselves. It has been peaceful so far. We are almost to Goldshade. Stay safe. We will meet you up there. I feel confident that Tamvern and I can handle ourselves. Allie. Anybody else
You
want to make me
would-
play a character?
Yes, actually, yes.
I hate you.
2. Aurelia would ask Karen to message Jothrand and tell him to use whatever means necessary to prove that he had nothing to do with it and it was all Aurelia.
In short, he replies that he's already on it and that the case against you is strong. He feels that they are none the wiser about any of his kind of involvement in it, and then wishes you safe travels.
Okay. I go into the dome. And I just sit next to Briar, and I don't say anything. It's like I give off an air of like comfortable silence, and I'm here if anybody needs to talk.
Do you like to read?
Yeah, I haven't had much time for it, but yes.
I am working on quite a few things. And you would like to learn about Ardam. She'll pull out Ace's book and then the Chronicle of the Fated Five. And you can rifle through these a bit. I don't think I'll be adding any pages to them for a while, but they're very well written, kind of funny. And you'll see some notes of things I noticed and I wanted to talk to Ace about, but never got a chance. It'll help you get to know one of our favorite people and why everything we do is for him.
Would love to read them.
After some time in the... Shortly after this, Martison comes up to Aurelia. You know, I haven't had a chance to thank you for sparing me. Did you know I was the first to be... Like, they were going to send me to the Red Chambers first. I think it was because, you know, scared. I was scared that they wouldn't be able to break me, so they go after the strongest first, you know, just...
Yeah, they were terrified of Marty. You should have seen the way he acted in front of the Queen.
Yeah, like, honestly, Rowan, like, volunteered, and they still chose me. I mean... Anyways, I just wanted to thank you and welcome you as an honorary member of the Fated Five, which is, you know, us, you know.
Honor. You're one of us now.
Yes, I'm welcoming her as she's the honor. I already know I'm a part of the Fated Five. Which I don't know if I should go around declaring that anymore. That's probably a notorious name, isn't it?
Yeah, our name is best spoken in shadows at this point.
We should start a new group. Start from scratch. There's now 6 of us. The Sexy Six. It's the most reasonable option. I will lead us if we need be. I am obviously the shining I'm sorry, I'm kidding. It was comedy. But anyway, I will if we need. I will lead that.
Martison, you know what you can lead? Like right now?
Song?
Absolutely. Play us a fucking song. No one can hear us. We're in the bubble. We're totally safe. I bet your butthole puckered up. You're a little scared of me, aren't you?
No, I'm not scared of you anymore. I know you love me.
Good, because I have a job for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
my father is really amazing, and if you want to learn how to be a spy, eloquent people.
I actually did a bit of roguing in my day. Before I was a musician, I was actually a thief. It's a long story. Can't go into it too much, but yeah, I was actually quite a rogue. And then that whole business that I was talking about, like I died and all that, like
Yeah.
Yep. And it was like, life-changing experience. And I was like, you know what, maybe I will just add to the world with my music and charm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so I gave that life up.
Okay, well, if
So,
you feel like...
Jothrind, he said you were a thief? And you changed your ways and...
Yes, yeah. I used to be in league with Porvis, and I was quite good at picking locks, and still am. And one time I picked the lock, Jothrin's lock, and instead of turning me in, he kind of gave me a chance at a different kind of life.
Similar to my situation. I was given, a second chance after I got caught. It wasn't my captors that showed me mercy. Definitely not. But yeah, then, new beginnings. So wonderful, yeah. So obviously that didn't stick.
No, but I've always wanted to see more and to do more, and Jothrin did teach me not to hesitate when my instincts tell me what is right. I should follow those.
Funny thing how fate seems to play its hand.
Well, we are the Fate Sexy Six.
We'll workshop the names.
I will put my name in the hat for Sexy Six.
I think best way to honor Dom would be to keep the name.
Even if there's more of us.
It would
We'll
just
workshop it.
confuse people.
The Fated Six. They'll never know. They'll never know.
I rather do think that Dom would like the Sexy Six. I think he'd be like, yeah, brother.
I honestly, he might go for that, yeah.
This whole conversation, Rowan was just sharpening his swords and just smiling and laughing at every comment, every bit.
But yeah, if you wanna go toe to toe sometime with and I'm a bit rusty on my roguing, but I can maybe show you a thing or two, perhaps, maybe.
I would love that.
He turns around, he goes over, picks up his lute, and he's like strumming it halfway. You see, he's like starting to come up with like a song.
I'm just gonna. Rowan is going to just half cock his head and look at Asher. Almost not saying it, but saying it that Aurelia could probably kick his ass, considering what Rowan was trying to teach him how to do proper push-ups in the.
Yeah, no, I feel like at that moment he's just gonna look at him, look at Aurelia, look at Rowan, look at Aurelia, look at Rowan, and just kind of smirk.
Not saying anything. We're not degrading him. We just know things and just keeping it to ourselves and just let the bro do his thing.
Let him shoot a shot.
Yep. Just
good
acknowledging
wingman.
the conversation.
I think. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think to give Charon some love. You're like, Charon, come sit in front of me. And then I'm going to brush and braid his hair. As I do from time to time. Help him stay all alive.
So,
Swap.
Come on.
and while we're sitting around, I'll be like, before we break out rations, since we're probably not gonna be able to refill, I can do this, and he'll cast Goodberry and give everybody. They should hold us over for the next 24 hours or so. It'll save. It's not much, and they don't taste great, but they do the trick.
They taste like that apple cider stuff. just in a form, and he's just gonna toss it into his mouth.
You see Marty, he's like playing You Make Those, and he's like, is he still playing? Like, toss it. Wait, dexterity check.
There we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh god. Hits him in the eye. Picks it up off the ground. So dirt adds flavor. It
Does. Adds
the
a
dirt
real
in here
earthy
is to
tone.
die for, honestly. I meant to do that.
Something dry. I feel much better. Thank you, Briar and Kuran, for taking the watch yesterday. I'll take the first watch. If anyone's welcome to join me, but I'll take the first one.
Are you sure? Because Karan, I can just
Yeah.
do this. I mean, we've done it for months.
These things have been neglected for a couple of days, so I'm just
I'll
gonna
take
get
second.
them up to shape.
I'll take second to watch. I haven't been sleeping well anyways, so
Yeah.
Give
You
me
guys
time
get some rest.
to clear my head.
So as you step outside, Rowan, you hear just this little rustling sound in the leaves and twigs. This little like, and then you just hear on the other side of the dome just like a.
Big.
What do you do?
I'm gonna sneak into the thing and grab my bow and an arrow and a couple arrows. It's food. Hunt, providing for the group. But I want to listen to it for a little bit longer, and I want to see it. So I don't want to just like.
Can you see out? Can you see? I don't think you can see through the dome, right? It's
We can see outside of the dome.
you can see
Yeah, you
outside
can't. It's
through
a
the
one-way
dome.
mirror.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, okay.
yeah. For them, it's
Uh,
we basically camouflage into the current area that we're in.
Okay, well, then you
it's-
see
yeah.
it is a little piglet. It's just
Can I go out?
it's
Can I-
unaware of you. Actually, roll stealth check. You'd have the plus 10 with the pass without a trace. It's just curious. It doesn't know what's in its little habitat right now.
26.
It's none the wiser.
Before I even go to try to pet it, knowing boars.
Roll perception.
Can I?
You're
I'm
trying
gonna
to
look for the mom.
mom.
I'm gonna look for the mom. Okay, so I rolled a 7, so plus 10. Wait, perception?
Perception.
A 7,
yeah.
I got 11.
No. Looking around in the area that you chose, it's got some different rock formations and hills and other bramble that's kind of covering up the view. You don't notice anything. You just see this little piglet sniffing your little dome.
I feel like Rowan would be pretty smart to not try to pet it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break off a piece of my mom. Like, I'm talking a small, like, little break in the bread because I don't want to inflate its stomach. Just like a little snap of the Aelos bread and he's gonna try not to wake anybody up, but he's gonna nuzzle down into not get out of the circle, and he's just gonna push it through in front of the piglet.
It's pacing kind of in this small little pattern, and then the little piece of bread comes through. It kind of like backs up a little bit. It eats it.
He's gonna get into
You see its tiny little tail.
Rowan's gonna get into like the catcher squat, and he's gonna have his like elbows like on his knees, and he's just gonna bring in like another small little piece, like extra small piece, and just feed it, and then he's just gonna and probably just leave it at that. I don't want to touch that thing because that thing probably has a mom nearby, and it's gonna.
You see, is it again? Eats that up.
Does anybody
you
else see this, or is it
turn-
just Rowan?
It kind of turns as if it's hearing something behind it, and then for a moment, it's like, I don't care about that, and it's like it sits there, waiting for more. Little tail, just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There's a little bit of
Gonna
wiggle in
wait.
its butt too.
Oh, that's Arya wag. Arya's wag. Does anybody else see this? Is Rowan just still the only one awake at this point?
Marty is walking around slightly, just lightly playing like lullaby music on the guitar, as to not be a nuisance. He's trying to kind of read the vibe that he's not disturbing anybody with his just light musical playing. But he's in his own little world right now. He finally notices you just squat down, feeding this little piggy. Oh.
Break up another piece. Put it through.
Please tell me this is entirely altruistic and you're not trying to make a meal out of this little creature, please.
I was going to, but I saw I was a kid. I don't want to do that.
Oh, why is it so different?
I
It's
know.
the same. It probably still tastes good, but it's so cute.
I know. And Rowan's just gonna wait for it to finish. I want to look around in the direction where he originally looked to see if there's any shadows.
In the night, with your night vision, just a roll perception.
Okay, cool.
Rowan becomes a vegan.
I rolled an 18
Okay.
plus 4, so a 22.
22. You get the impression that it saw something earlier and that something went away. You don't see anything out there anymore. It's just this little piglet.
Do we keep it? We could have like a pet.
I don't know. You know how terrible we are about names. We can't even come up with a name for our group. Now we have to name this. Like, you can't just... Unless we just call it Piggy, or, I don't know, something. Oh, hi, creature. Speaking of creatures.
Name it breakfast.
Breakfast. Bacon. I don't know,
My
something
thing is
clever and
that-
cute.
Its mom might be nearby, and we're traveling to somewhere it's cold. I don't think it's adjusted to cold.
Well, it's a boar piglet, so it might be. I mean, once it gets hairier, I don't know, like gets a fur coat over it.
What's it doing?
It
Is
can
it still
adjust.
being
It
extra
can-
adorable
it
at
can
the
adjust.
at the dome? Is it still being like extra adorable at the dome?
It's,
Despite its little.
It's kind of burrowing its nose into the bottom of the dome, digging, like trying to get more to come out of it.
Okay, no more. Everyone's gonna put his bread back.
You are a
I'm just gonna-
monster.
I'm just. Have you not eaten this bread? This thing will. You'll only eat like a half of it, and it fills you up for like a whole day. It's like one of those good berries. And you're saying you don't care.
Chris wants more, clearly. I've named him Chris. Chris
Wait,
P.
you named
Bacon.
Chris? Oh my god. Everyone's gonna take it out and it's Chris B. Bacon. Okay. B. Aiken or just like
P. Bacon. Chris P.
B.
Bacon.
Bacon. Oh, got it. Alright. And this is the last bit. We're not giving him any.
Okay.
Shove it on through. Give him a little.
Saphira, stop being
Just like-
jealous.
Alright.
You creature. Stop
Rowan's
it.
gonna put it across his arms and sit down.
What if it doesn't
Looking
go
around.
away? What if it's ours forever? You fed it. You fed the stray. What have you done?
Well, if it stays till the morning, we'll keep it.
I'm going to try something.
What are you doing?
He goes to put his hand outside the dome. Do you try to stop him before he does?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna try to stop him. I'm gonna grab his for him.
Easy enough, you grab his hand, and he starts to kind of resist.
I want to pet it.
I want to
Let
put
me.
it too, but I can't.
What if it wants scritches? We'll never know unless we try.
Fine.
Kind of slaps your hand away.
Unhand me.
Reaches his hand through the... I'm going to roll an animal handling check for him. I'm rolling my own rolls. Like, I'm just giving myself rolls today, I guess.
Here we go.
Unfortunately, you rolled a 2. It sees his hand, and it scurries around to the other side of the dome, and it kind of stops and peeks around the dome. You see that it's just trying to look where that hand came through.
I guess it didn't want my scritches. You try.
I'm gonna go
Do it
over
from
towards
behind.
it.
Maybe it won't notice. Just a little butt scritch.
Sleight
Rowan's
of hand,
gonna roll up
and
his.
then animal handling.
Okay, Rowan's gonna roll up his sleeve. Sleight of hand first. 18 again.
Okay.
Plus 4, 22 for the sleight of hand.
It doesn't notice.
Okay, good. All right. Yes, a 17 for animal, and then another plus 4. So 21.
It seems like it startles it at first when you initially make contact. It doesn't notice you reaching your hand out. You make that contact with a little bit of a scritch. It startles it. It turns around and then it sniffs your hand and smells the bread, like the bread, and then its little butt wiggles and its tail wiggles and just smells the hand.
I'm gonna pull it into the hut.
It's wiggling in your hand. It's just this little wiggling creature.
It'll start scratching its head and
It's like getting up into your face, like sniffing your face.
I guess it loves you. Okay.
And we'll handle a check again for him. 2 again. It kind of wiggles around and then turns around and faces you again. If anybody would like to wake up, you can, because it's your call.
Yeah, Rowan hearing an animal in the hut, gonna like
Just
open his eyes and see this, and like, Rowan, what are you doing?
this is Chris.
You named.
I didn't. I didn't.
Casual. This is Chris.
Where is his mother?
Where's your mom?
I do not know. I'm just kidding.
I don't have an animal prepared, so
It's comedy. It's rhetorical. It didn't happen.
we were this close if I prepared to speak with animal, which I almost did.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
Oh, God. Okay, wait. I gotta find a way to kill this thing quick.
Don't you dare.
What have I done? Why did I do this?
Rowan has his front arms are sitting in his. Rowan's probably got massive hands, so it's just sitting comfortably in his hand, and he's going to hold it out for Asher to pet.
And Asher's gonna like go to kind of give it a pet. Let's see if it's animal handling. So that's a 16 plus 8, so 24.
24. Yeah. It likes you too.
Okay. Well, I have an idea. Just to go see if its mom is out.
Why? No.
We have to return it to its mother.
At the no, Bree's gonna wake up and she's got her arm around Aurelia and she's gonna pop up her head a little bit. You should just give it as a gift to Evie. Girls like cute creatures.
No, she can.
And then she's gonna go back to bed.
I don't know if Evie could have a boar as a pet in her house.
I will. Just
I mean,
give
I
me
have a
like
farm.
5 minutes. And Asher's gonna step outside the hut, transform into a boar that looks, well, it looks like every other wild shape, and he's going to go see if he can sniff around and find the mother.
Okay, roll a perception, I guess.
I mean, my mom probably would like to have a boar. I mean,
That's a 17. I don't know what a boar's stat block is, but it should be a 17.
You hear trouncing around the ridge of the little inlet that you guys have made down. A larger animal moving around, followed by the sound of just a couple other little scurries behind it. Seems to be probably the mother with its other little ones.
Asher's gonna go transform, kind of walk back to the hut, transform back in. The mother's out there. We should probably give Chris. What is Chris' full name?
Chris
I'm gonna
P.
point to-
Bacon.
I'm actually a little bit ashamed of you for that name, but
What? That's
Clever.
wonderful.
That's a good one.
fair, but really, we have to give it back to his mother. Imagine what.
I mean, is it honestly the best choice? Obviously, it's not a very good mother if it lost its little baby.
You know as well as I do that small children are not good at following directions. She's probably looking for it right now.
Ron's
Blame it on the child.
booping snoots with the pig.
Rowan, as much as this would be awesome to have, I think we need to give it back.
He's
At
right.
least try.
Marty comes over holding his hands out. Roll another handling check. He starts to grab it from you. It doesn't notice at first, and then he kind of holds it in front of you, and it turns and starts to.
Asher's gonna gently
Starts
take
to-
it and like kind of hold it like a child. Oh god, let's see if this is. Thank God he's got proficiency in this. That's cocked. Yeah. That's a 17 plus 8.
Yep. It calms down for you, and it almost, if it were personified, has this glare towards Marty.
He's just gonna
All right,
kind of like
take it away, fine, Chris. I was nothing but good to you, and you were ungrateful.
Ron's
He's
gonna
gonna
do the little dad
walk
wave.
outside and
My sweet little Christopher, growing up so fast.
he's gonna walk outside and then kind of set it on the ground where he's following, and then lead it to where he hears his mother.
As you approach the larger boar, it puts its hooves into the dirt and kind of.
Asher's gonna like just make himself like smaller, not trying to be a threat, and like
It starts to
nudge
make
the
itself
baby.
bigger, and then you see the little one. It sniffs around you a little bit, and then rushes over, little butt wiggling, little tail wiggling, over to its mother. The mother lets it get behind her, and then the whole troop starts to kind of like rush away. The 3 of the litter that it seems to have at the moment start to kind of play with each other as it keeps its eye on you as it starts to turn towards the
So he's not gonna
little-
turn his back. He's just gonna slowly back up and walk back to the dome, and he's gonna look at Rowan and just kind of have a smirk on his face. And
How's Marty doing?
I hardly knew him. I shall write songs about him.
Crispy bacon. And
Maybe one day we'll
Rowan-
meet again.
maybe you'll
Probably
be
in
a
my
bigger
tummy.
boar. Yeah,
What do you
let's
think
not
about
think
it?
about
The
that.
chances are-
Well,
yeah.
let's not.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat bacon ever again because I'm always gonna wonder if it's Chris.
Just don't think about it.
Oh, it's gonna be hard. We'll just cheers with the bacon strips. We'll just to crispy. Ooh, to
Well,
Christopher.
I think that it's back with its siblings and its mother. It seemed very. I almost got trampled by a boar, so that's probably not one of the better ideas that I've had, but it needed to be done.
Well, it's been about 4 hours since you're up, Asher. I hate to. You want to just do the switch now?
Yeah, we'll go get some sleep.
Nothing crazy. Seems pretty quiet outside of Chris coming to the dome. So, I was gonna pull his cloak over and get into a ball and fall asleep.
The rest of the night goes by unabated, uneventful, quiet. No more critter visits. If there's anything you got like to do for the night, the morning will come. Okay. Once again, another beautiful summer morning. This one a little bit chillier than the one before, but it's a comfortable chilly. The morning air comforts you awake with the birds chirping as the sun begins to gleam in through the trees of the forest you've made camp.
Packing the stuff and trying to clean up our sleeping area. Like making it almost look like a animal bedding area rather than us bedding.
And once we get packed up and on our horses, Asher's going to end the hallucinatory terrain, so everything looks normal. There's no illusions.
Okay. And with that, you guys head up north with the daybreak, carrying out everything that Rowan said as far as cloaking up before Branbridge. You look like any other travelers making your way through. People don't seem to pay much mind other than the curiosity of horse-mounted travelers. They don't seem to think anything of it.
And we'll have passed without a trace up for a good chunk of like going through the town and all of that.
Okay. And something that does catch your eye, oddly enough, already are wanted posters that head on the list Aurelia and kind of descriptions of each of the party and under the banner of the Fated Five.
Does it have like really bad sketches of each of us?
there are no sketches, not on these sets that you've seen. One of the bigger billboards that the little ones seem to point focus to as you pass by through the town has some depictions of your they're actually not bad though. They're not bad artist sketches from what you can see, unless you want to take a look and stop and see if they're how detailed they are. From what you can tell, like at least from the distance that you've kept from your horse and just passing by without trying to pay too much mind to it, from a distance decently close, general sketches of what you look like. So
When we get into town, Rowan's going to full-blown Jedi hood, like totally like pull his hood as close as he could to his head to just shield any even like just totally trying to hide his face as
Roll
we
me
go
a group
through.
performance check.
Can we do a stealth check because Pass Without a Trace is up?
You're not sneaking necessarily. You're just trying to be unnoticed. It's different. It's different.
Not good at performance.
What'd you do, Sky?
I rolled a 9.
I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10.
19. 19 for me, so I have no modifier.
Can I roll
No
for
charisma.
Karen?
Let me roll for go ahead and roll for Karen. I'll roll for Marty. Okay, that's Marty.
He rolled an
Marty's
18 because
Marty's
he's
an
my
excellent
FlySG.
Marty's nonchalant, just acting casual as a cow grazing in the field. You guys, on the other hand, it's fine to wear a cloak. It's fine to wear your hood up. You guys look like you're hiding. So that draws some eyes to the extent you're unsure how sus
we get
it
it?
appears.
I would almost say, could we have advantage with that performance with the Pass Without a Trace?
Because the Pass Without a Trace does kind of
It-
shroud us, and
Yeah, it's supposed to hide us, the Pass Without a Trace.
I feel
we
like
don't
that would be
really-
sus in of itself to walk through a
Well,
town with a.
it basically makes it to where people will perceive you, but like when you see something, but you don't really pay it any attention.
Not trying to reverse your call, but it's
I'm trying to think of how this would actually play out in walking through a village, and I guess if a dark cloud of figures walks through, it's
it's
more
a
of
common road. It's a common road. Everybody crosses it. It's a main road. It's the main road to get from
like I said,
one side to
you are unsure of
that's
to what
true, okay.
to what extent you are suspicious.
I tried, guys.
You
It's okay.
feel you probably it probably feels worse than it is because of the stakes and seeing those signs, but you can rationalize for yourself maybe you're just being overly paranoid. But it's an anxious feeling. You feel anxious.
Natural
as far
feeling.
as
That's
it's just natural. It's actually how you feel. I don't know if you noticed that, but that's how you feel right now, actually.
Yeah, that is actually because we're like just trying to keep it low key. Just keep going. Don't look at anybody. Go through the town, and then as soon as we hit maybe 80 yards outside of the town, Rowan is going to again lead the way. Just heels down, clicks his tongue, and we just sprint it. Just gallop as fast as we can. Blaring past Brandbridge, aiming to get in between.
Yeah, so the road between Brandbridge and Ulster, if that's kind of where you're headed, is actually a pretty easy road. It's a wide, pretty highly traveled road, but in a lot of ways that works in your favor. You're able to easily make a good pace with this being like ideal terrain. It's like not rough terrain. It's just this flat wraps around the mountainside of Siroc, and you make it probably that third hex up from just directly to the right of Siroc. You're nearly to those crossroads over to Siroc. You're starting to see the signs that are pointing towards Siroc.
Assuming that hill that is right there, smack dab in the middle of that hex, Rowan would lead the party to in that direction to rest for the night.
Okay. For sake of brevity, this night goes unabated, and you guys can continue your journey on up through closer to Herndine. You're now feeling yourself 2-3 days out.
So
from
during that
Herndine.
night, though, he is gonna pull aside Rowan and be, do we want to? Because I'm assuming we have seen signs for Cyrock and all of that. But do we want to maintain on the roads, or do we want to stay off the beaten path and meet back up the roads further
So
north?
these are well-made roads carved into some difficult terrain. So if you were to take your horses up through this terrain, it would increase the time to probably 3 or 4 days minimum to cut through the woods. You're getting into territory that's
Mountainous and hills.
It's mountainous and hilly. It's beautiful, and it's starting to get chillier up here. Making it feel like autumn is approaching faster, but the pines starting to become the predominant form of foliage up here.
We do also need to start procuring clothes. We can go hunt.
Yeah. There's probably going to be some wolf packs around here. We can get some good fur for everybody.
If between you and you're pretty good with a bow, correct?
Yeah.
I can.
But to answer your question about that, Rowan would have probably told him about the roads, and so honestly, not a whole lot of travel goes on between here and Ulstern to Herondine, so we're...
Yes, once you get closer to Ulstern, it starts to get less ideal roads. There's barely even a road up to Herondine. It's mountain paths, trails that are mostly uphill from Ulstern to Herondine. You've not made it quite to Ulstern yet. You're still probably at that third hex, or that hex to the right of Cyrock, starting to make your way towards Ulstern.
We could honestly save our time, hunting. I think right when we get to Ulstern, that's when it's going to really start hitting us. But with Bree's amazing hut thing that she's got going on, we'll be okay through the night.
But
And my mom can make us something that could last long. With more.
It will take a few days for leather to cure, so that's why I was saying we wanted.
Yeah, nah, we can probably hold out. If anything, I can give Bree my cloak, and your cloak seems pretty insulated for now, so we can work something out. I got stuff. I actually would want to tell Karun to just reach out to Jathril. Keep it simple. We're okay. He needs to stay safe, lay low, and if he has to, just thinking about the sacrifices Aurelia's made, he'd say the same thing, If he wants to keep his status, say what he needs to say. And that's it. Anything giving away our location, just simply.
Jathril responds, essentially saying that he's been as vague as possible, and honest, essentially saying he knows you, doesn't seem like something you would do, doesn't know Dom, doesn't know if that was something that he was capable of, and the Queen seems to have accepted that. He doesn't know to what extent he's under investigation.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's actually really good. Well, he's gonna flop on whatever he's got mounted next to him and just relief, because Jathril, being like a big brother to him, doesn't want to get him caught up in the mix, because he's in a good place now.
Okay, Aurelia, before I start my watch tonight, it's your turn. Come here. Come sit down. and she's gonna start unbraiding your hair, brushing it, and then she's gonna do a fun braid in your hair.
You see Aurelia like closes her eyes, and it's probably the first time anybody's ever done this for her. So she's just blissed out.
That's it. Just a little character moment. Boop.
Okay. Moving right past that. Yeah, that night goes unabated as well as you start to make your way towards Ulstern. Let me roll something. Actually, chat. Exclamation point D4. Somebody in chat. Exclamation point D4. A 4. Okay. What? What are you saying?
Fight.
You rounding the bend, stumble upon a man leaning against a rock. He's got a dagger in hand. He's kind of picking his nails. Oh, hello there. It's far enough. Road's closed up ahead, sorry. Gives a bit of a nod, smiling with this kind of sinister grin of just like cocky on his shit kind of thing.
Closed.
Yeah, it's been a terrible accident involving some carriages and all that, so...
Oh, that's fine. We're going through the woods anyways.
Oh yeah, by all means, go around. Just stay off the road.
What'll do? And it will just kind of... Asher's just going to ride past him.
On the road? No, this road, this is the one you gotta stay the fuck off of, mate.
Well, you see, I don't really give a shit.
He looks at the whole group, all 6 of you at this moment.
What is he wearing?
He's just got some leathers with some furs, a fur hood that is currently down, and he stops picking his nails with his knife, and he sheaths it into this little pouch. All right then. Safe travels.
I'm gonna turn around to Bree, who's probably in the back. Let's go fast, huh? And my objective is to try to just fly as fast as we can, and then Bree doing her thing in the back.
Rounding the bend, you see a few men and a cart with broken wheels that is actually blocking the way. So to ride around that, you'd have to like either run over these guys. You do notice there are a couple horses. As you get closer, you notice there are arrows sticking out of the horses. There are some bodies littering the ground, almost naked, with just their undergarments on, as the men are kind of looting through this cart and these bodies. this would impede your movement
Yeah.
as they're blocking the road. And with that, we'll take a break.
Perfect.
All right, let's take a break real quick so that we can have some more of this episode go. Nation of Dice, thanks for rating. Hope you guys had a good stream. Aratham, thank you for following. Hinhanska, see you here in chat. Thanks for following. And Tavern Harriers, thank you for following. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's take a break. All right, we'll be right back.
Enjoy.